Let's talk about the main event for WrestleMania 40, because I think WWE has a bit of a problem right now. Now we have the tag team match that's going to happen with Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody. We've got the Seth versus Drew match for the world title, and we've got Cody versus Roman for the undisputed title. The problem I'm seeing has to do with what unfolded on SmackDown on Friday night, where we finally had the face-to-face of Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes jockeying back and forth with each other, talking trash, and it kind of fell flat for me. What did you think? For me, I don't think the segment worked very well. I thought that, honestly, The Rock has been like the most entertaining thing about this whole feud, and if you take Roman Reigns out of it, like completely, you'd really think week to week the match is between Cody and The Rock. That's how things have kind of been built and kind of been positioned, in my opinion. There hasn't been a lot of Roman Reigns front and center, tribal chief. The Roman Reigns, this whole stretch, as soon as The Rock came in, immediately felt like he was taking a back seat. Now, WWE still has a little bit of time where they could maybe correct course if they want to with this. But this promo, this segment on SmackDown didn't totally land for me, because I thought this was the moment to get Roman Reigns front and center, to maybe drop some teases and hints and seeds for him and having tension with The Rock. But we didn't get that. Roman just kind of came off as meh. Like, he didn't deliver a lot of intensity, kind of shrugging things off. Maybe that's part of all of this. Maybe Roman in the character is feeling like there's not much to do, and he's not worried about Cody at all, because he's calling him like secondary and he's number 2 and Roman's number 1. Maybe because he beat him last year, so maybe Roman's overall attitude as a character is, I don't need to worry about this guy. I've already beat him, he can't beat me, he's gonna lose the tag match, I'm with The Rock, why should I sweat any of this? So that kind of makes sense, but just from the delivery standpoint, The Rock has been just overshadowing Roman Reigns week after week after week, and like I said, it really does kind of feel like on paper, oh, wouldn't this be just a match between Rock and Cody Rhodes? Because that seems to be what the feud is about. The tribal chief spot, Cody finishing the story against Roman, even that is feeling almost secondary. Cody going for the title has been feeling almost less important than him just going back and forth and butting heads with The Rock. Like, if Cody was champion and going after The Rock, battling for like beat the final boss kind of deal, like, I'd be totally cool with it. I want to see Cody versus The Rock, and yes, I'm gonna get that in the tag team match, but I mean straight up one-on-one. I'm way more excited to see how that is gonna go versus the Roman Cody match. I have no doubt that the Roman Cody match is going to be bloodline rules. It's going to have shenanigans one way or another. You're going to see Seth Rollins get involved. You might see Jey Uso run down to the ramp too. Like, the bloodline will be involved. The Rock will be involved. I think that main event night 2 is going to have a lot going on, and it's going to end up being just so much fun and chaotic, and it's going to be great. But we are only a few weeks away from WrestleMania, and I feel like this is really where they needed to hit a home run, because you have Rock going out week after week, going on social media, dropping F-bombs, just going crazy as a heel. Rock is like the heel, the biggest heel. He's final boss in his eyes, but the crowd is cheering him because babyface Rock, in his first iteration of coming out week after week, or just showing up on Raw randomly or SmackDown with Pat McAfee, just kind of cheering with the crowd and then just going nostalgia and calling people names and walking out. It's fun for the live crowd, but it doesn't do anything. And then as soon as people saw that that wasn't working, The Rock went heel, and now he's way more over than everybody else. And that's okay to a degree, but with Roman Reigns slotted in there, this is where I feel like they have a problem. And Roman's promo against Cody didn't do anything for me. It didn't solidify this main event match that I'm super excited to see. It didn't create more tension. They didn't add any more real intrigue into it. Cody really didn't even go after The Rock with Roman Reigns involved. Like, I thought Cody would have gone off even more with Roman, calling him like Rock's side chick and trying to put like seeds of doubt in Roman's brain of like, you are playing secondary character to The Rock, like lean into it, because he's been doing that when he has promos with The Rock, and that is getting so personal with bringing up the parent, the mom, and all this stuff. That is so personal for Rock and Cody together, and then you got Roman Reigns over here. So is this a problem in the main event? This is the main question I have. Is it going to fall flat? Because we've done the match. We've done Rock and Cody last year. We know what that template looks like. That's where I feel like that main event match has to have a lot going on and a lot involved. This also kind of plays into, with this whole segment, this main event segment on SmackDown, it made everyone really feel like secondary characters when they kind of shouldn't. Like, The Rock feels like the biggest thing going on, and it's The Rock, so sure. Cody, yes, feels like, okay, he is the main focus because he's the one literally standing tall, the only one in the ring at the end, going face to face with the Bloodline, who are on the outside. And you got Seth, and then you got Jay showing up, and Jay's going to fight Jimmy, so that makes sense. And you got Seth involved because he's the tag team partner, but like, Seth's your world heavyweight champion, and he feels kind of like just a tag team partner, which is not right. Like, maybe you should have had Drew get involved in there to kind of show up, to kind of maybe even go a little bit on the side of the Bloodline, because he's got a direct problem with Seth Rollins. They're fighting for the belt. And so The Rock's story in itself feels like it's so much bigger than just everything else. And it's good and it's bad, in my opinion. The good, it elevates a lot of stuff. It makes weekly television interesting. We're gonna get The Rock and Roman Reigns on Raw, and that should be proving very, very interesting, and maybe that is gonna have a lot more pieces show up and a lot more things fall into place. But I really thought, for what is kind of like the contract signing, that face-to-face moment of Roman and Cody, that should have been really, really amplified, much deeper, and really should have played off their history a lot more. And also, I don't even think the crowd was all that into it. And maybe it was just the audio balancing. Maybe the crowd was. It's hard to tell. But from watching at home, the crowd didn't seem kind of into it all that much, into the segment. Roman snaps his fingers, and then a couple of seconds later, his music hits. It was kind of like he snapped, and then we're all waiting like, what does that mean? And sure, he was snapping for the music plus everyone to come down, the Bloodline to come down. But I think the TV direction, it didn't quite land. I think you almost needed Roman and Cody to brawl. Maybe do something to heighten it. Spill some blood. Do something like that. And maybe this is going to tee up because they're teasing like the 3-on-3. It's a little bit confusing, a little muddled, but maybe this is what's going to happen on Raw, where you're going to have Bloodline and The Rock all involved, and everyone's going to be there. And then and Drew McIntyre shows up, and you got Seth, and you got Jay and Cody. Everyone is involved. And then maybe it ends up being a brawl, maybe minus The Rock, because no one will touch The Rock. But I think more need to happen here. This did not feel like WrestleMania Night 2 main event. And again, week after week, I'm just more interested of like, I want to see Cody and The Rock in the ring together. And so that leads to my next point in question of, what happens to Roman Reigns with all of this? Again, Roman is the undisputed champion. With the Bloodline story, what we have seen for like 2+ years, Roman holding that belt, going on to potentially pass Hulk Hogan's record. Like, he needs to get past WrestleMania, and by all accounts, Cody will win the belt and he won't achieve that. But that's what you should be playing into as well, is like, this title reign by WWE is supposed to be so very important, and it's the longest thing in modern era. They should lean into that more and create that question mark for Roman of, well, does he feel doubtful? Does Cody even bring it up that like, I beat you and you will not beat the record? You are the tribal chief and he's the final boss, but you may not hold on to that record anymore. What's that going to do to you? Something to get Roman Reigns kind of out of second gear. Because every week when we do have Rock and Roman in the ring, Roman Reigns is very much secondary. He feels like he's literally on the side, and he's kind of just like almost one of the henchmen for the Bloodline for The Rock. The Rock really does feel like final boss. He is in charge. And again, that could be some of the TV direction. That could be what they are trying to go for with all of this. And so that when WrestleMania hits, I expect the Bloodline, I expect Rock and Roman to win the tag match, and I expect Cody to win the main event, and that's setting up all of the issues of Rock and Roman together for what they go into. But if they fight each other, and the way they position Roman Reigns, and if he disappears after WrestleMania for months, I'm kind of going to be sitting there going, if we do end up with Rock and Roman at WrestleMania 41, and the build up to that being like a year, I'm kind of cheering for The Rock. And not because it's The Rock, it's just that I should be cheering for Roman Reigns, presumably. That would be the idea, is that Rock is supposed to be the big baddie, but like, I'm probably just gonna cheer for The Rock because I'm way more entertained by The Rock than Roman Reigns right now. Roman would have to do something different in order to hook me after WrestleMania as a character, to buy in and get more invested with him again, because it's not there. And I do worry that for Roman Reigns as this character that he is right now, that it's finally running its course. Maybe WWE sees that, because you have Roman Reigns show up, he puts up the ones, he'll talk some trash, he says acknowledge me, and he doesn't wrestle. And then the matches, what we've seen for 2 years, kind of start to get predictable, where it's going to be ref bump, schmoz, breakdown, Roman retains. However, within the storylines that we had with the Bloodline, there are incredible moments of Sami Zayn mostly being that storyline arc and being some of the best things we've seen on TV. But now that The Rock has come in, doing all the things that The Rock is doing every single week, talking how he's talking, calling out Cody Rhodes, calling out his family, creating that intrigue and that story, it makes me feel like Roman Reigns is just left off into the dust and won't really matter in the end of this. My question is, what does Roman Reigns need to do? Did SmackDown fall flat? Did it not deliver? Because I think this is one of those pivotal moments where it needed to. The other thing I'd say is, I hope we get way more out of Roman Reigns, just way more fire, intensity, feeling like there is adversity, and then he's not just walking around in a sweatsuit and doesn't care about anything. I think fans need a little bit more, because while I'm entertained by so much of it, I do kind of wonder where Roman Reigns will be at the end of all of this. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you enjoy unfiltered videos like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I will see you on the next one. And if you want to talk about if WrestleMania 40 might kind of flop, we got some like terrible predictions here of just the ways that WWE could screw up WrestleMania 40. So if you want to check that one out, click right here. I will see you on the next one.